I'm using two expressions about the symptom, which is a symbol, which are the power and will. Now, why power and why will? We don't know how we are born, where are we heading to, and this is because the ego part of the personality is but one symbolic part. But the part of our being, with capital B, is the dynamics of wholeness of our being, with a small capital B. So being and being, they are in a relationship. So whatever we know about ourselves is essentially limited. And symptom has the power to bridge that gap between what we know about ourselves and what is yet to come into our lives in order to transform ourselves and the way we see reality and the way we interpret reality. The residential character of a summer school serves a few purposes. One is the natural environment itself. Man comes out of nature, and man has to return to the natural environment in order to be better able to reconnect with one's own inner being. The other element is living and staying together in a natural environment, which means that a new constellation of working on oneself in depth is emerging, giving an opportunity to really concentrate on the will of my symptom. So the practical work really connects with living together and being in nature, hence the chance to replenish and reconnect the sometimes lost connection with our own being, about which really symptoms are all about. The program of the day is going to start with the dream matrix, where we are going to explore the dynamics of the dreams brought to the dream matrix. It's the narrative, the dream narrative, that has been there since millennia of man's existence. Man has always been narrating his and her dreams. And then there will be a morning workshop, the main workshop, where we are going to work on 4 levels of the symptom, not just the physical level, but also the psychological level, and then the spiritual level, like lack of energy or a surplus of energy, and then the thinking level, which is really what we think, how we interpret, how we judge our symptoms, and finally, how does it affect my personal mindset, so that I can see both the symptom and the world in a different perspective. It will be helpful if you have some prior experience in psychotherapy or any other kind of in-depth work on oneself. Be a beginner in working on yourself in depth, or maybe a therapist yourself already. We will work with the 4 elements, that is the physical cogito, the perception of physical symptoms, and then the psychological level, working psychologically, historically, with one's personal past, then the meaning of a symptom, which is quite important, and that is the spiritual intuitive dimension that we will work with the archetypes, we will produce this meaning with the archetypes of one's personal cosmogram, one's birth chart, and then the thinking level, which is really about how do I interpret what is happening to me and is trying to change my conscious awareness. The group cannot be too large because of the nature of working with the IPAL method, because when you work on yourself in depth with the IPAL method, you are working with me as the tutor of the IPAL method in a dyad. So we have these several circles of dyad work, which means that you will be able to participate in other participants' processes. So that means that I can accept 9 participants maximum. We are going to stay in a beautiful environment of Koča Cojzarica on the Slovenian Alps of Pohorje. This is Eastern Alps of Slovenia, quite high. And we are going to stay there, work there, and hopefully go through some important change in our awareness.